What if the most dangerous threat to your cement plant's efficiency is something you can't even see? In this video, we'll uncover how hidden damage inside preheater cyclones quietly erodes thermal efficiency, increases energy costs, and threatens the stability of cement production. Now that we've set the stage, let's map out our journey. We'll start by understanding what stone boxes really mean, then explore the root causes and consequences of hotspots, examine how cyclone geometry drives process instability, and finally, reveal the true financial impact of these hidden failures. Stone boxes are a common sight in cement plants, but their true significance is often misunderstood. In this topic, we'll uncover what a stone box really is, why it's installed, and what it signals about the health of your preheater cyclone. Let's start by defining a term that every cement plant operator should know: the stone box. A stone box is a steel patch box welded onto the outer surface of a preheater cyclone or duct shell at a hotspot location, filled with castable or insulating material to provide temporary external thermal protection and reduce shell temperature. This definition matters because it highlights that a stone box is not a permanent fix. It's a warning sign that something deeper is wrong inside the cyclone. Here's how stone boxes function and why their presence is a red flag for deeper issues inside the cyclone. Temporary protection is the main role of a stone box. It helps avoid an emergency shutdown, but it's not meant to be a lasting fix. A stone box indicates internal deterioration. Its presence means the refractory lining has failed, and hidden process losses are already underway. Stone boxes are especially critical in lower stage cyclones, where temperatures reach between 800 and 900 degrees Celsius. Here, the steel shell can deform or even fail if left unprotected. Let's break down what repeated stone box installations are really telling us about the cyclone's internal condition. Progressive refractory failure is signaled by repeated stone box repairs. This means the internal lining is deteriorating across various cyclone areas. Disturbed gas flow patterns result from uneven refractory, which distorts the cyclone's geometry and increases turbulence. Hidden efficiency losses occur as separation and heat exchange efficiency decline, long before any visible alarms or production drops. Hotspots on preheater cyclones are more than just surface issues. They're the final warning of a much deeper problem. In this topic, we'll explore the main causes of hotspots, how they develop, and why their consequences can be so severe for cement plant operations. Let's examine the main forces that lead to hotspots inside preheater cyclones. Abrasive wear happens as raw meal particles, moving at speeds between 15 and 25 meters per second, erode the refractory lining. Alkali and chloride attack occurs when volatile compounds like potassium oxide and sodium oxide penetrate and weaken the refractory from within. Thermal spalling is caused by repeated heating and cooling cycles, which create cracks and eventually lead to pieces of refractory breaking away. Dip tube damage, even a small deviation, can disrupt the cyclone's vortex and increase turbulence, reducing separation efficiency. False air infiltration introduces cold air jets that create local thermal stress and cracking in the refractory lining. Now, let's look at why hotspots are so dangerous and why they can't be ignored. Delayed detection means that internal damage can develop for weeks or months before any alarms are triggered. Rapid shell overheating occurs once the refractory becomes too thin, causing the shell temperature to rise quickly. Sudden structural failure is a real risk, as the shell can deform, warp, or even crack when exposed to high temperatures. Imagine running a cement kiln where everything seems normal. Production targets are met, alarms are quiet, and the kiln keeps running. Yet, inside the preheater, the efficiency is silently slipping away. This invisible process loss is a real-life problem that many operators face, as internal cyclone deterioration goes unnoticed until it's too late. The challenge is recognizing these hidden losses before they become catastrophic. The shape and smoothness of a cyclone's internal surfaces are critical to its performance. In this topic, we'll see how even small changes in cyclone geometry can trigger a cascade of process instability, from dust recirculation to pressure drop swings and unstable kiln operation. Here's how the internal geometry of a cyclone directly impacts its separation efficiency and overall process stability. Smooth surfaces are essential for maintaining a stable vortex and ensuring efficient separation of meal particles from the gas stream. Irregularities, such as rough or uneven surfaces, cause fine meal particles to be pulled back into the gas stream instead of separating properly. The cone shape controls how meal particles flow downward. If the cone is distorted, more particles bypass separation and travel upward with the gas. Let's trace the chain of events that turn small internal changes into major process instability. Refractory deterioration is the starting point, as the internal lining begins to fail. Geometry distortion follows, with the cyclone surface becoming uneven and rough. As a result, separation efficiency drops and more meal particles bypass the intended path. Dust circulation increases, with more fine particles remaining suspended in the gas stream. This leads to pressure drop instability, where the pressure difference across the cyclone swings unpredictably. Finally, the ID fan must work harder to maintain draft, increasing electrical load and overall process instability. Operators can spot early warning signs if they know what to look for. Here are some key indicators of internal cyclone problems. Rising fan amps, especially a 5 to 10% increase without any change in kiln feed, is a clear warning sign. An exit gas temperature above 350 degrees Celsius at stage 1 often points to cyclone separation loss in the upper stages. Pressure drop fluctuations with erratic swings usually signal coating buildup or internal geometry problems. When preheater cyclones deteriorate, the impact isn't just technical, it's financial. In this topic, we'll connect the dots between hidden process losses, rising energy consumption, and the true cost of ignoring internal cyclone failures. Let's look at the numbers behind the problem. A kiln running just 30 kilocalories per kilogram above its design-specific heat consumption is effectively wasting approximately 90,000 megacalories every single day. This shocking statistic reveals how even small efficiency losses add up to massive energy waste and cost. Here's how hidden cyclone failures quietly drive up both thermal and electrical energy consumption. Heat loss through the shell increases as damaged refractory pushes shell temperatures up to between 180 and 250 degrees Celsius or even higher. Exit gas temperature rises because less heat is recovered, meaning more energy escapes with the exhaust gas. False air load is a major factor. When false air infiltration reaches between 15 and 25%, it can add 20 to 40 kilocalories per kilogram to SHC. Fan power consumption increases as the ID fan amps rise by 10 to 15% due to higher dust loading and pressure drop. Notice how these factors combine to create a significant financial burden over time, even when production appears stable. An increase of 3 to 8 kilocalories per kilogram SHC per deteriorated stage leads to higher coal costs. A 10 to 15% rise in fan amps means a larger electricity bill for the plant. A 20 to 50 degrees Celsius increase in exit gas temperature results in lost heat value. Frequent maintenance and repairs raise the risk of unplanned downtime and additional costs. The most efficient cement plants don't just patch hotspots, they prevent them. By aggressively monitoring shell profiles, trending cyclone pressure drops, and eliminating false air, plants can safeguard their thermal and electrical efficiency. The real engineering goal is to never need a stone box in the first place.